I feel so lucky to be interviewing you on the Monday after the Knicks. Have you heard the term collective effervescence? You haven't seen it yet?
Not really.
So it's a philosophical term that essentially is what we're experiencing in New York.
Yeah.
Collective effervescence, where people are just like filled with joy. But Mr. Mayor, I have to say, you've really played a big role in that.
Oh, thank you.
So what do you think about the fact that people are saying, it's not just the moment, it's the fact that the mayor and the city has made it into a social movement moment?
I think they're very kind. And it truly feels like one of the best times to be a New Yorker. Because I think, as you say, and in many ways, what this incredible Knicks finals run and playoffs and just the whole season, it has been a moment where people understand themselves as part of something larger. Because you're seeing yourself, your city in this team. And if people are saying that, I'm incredibly proud to play one small part in what it looks like to write a new chapter. Because for a long time, if you're a Knicks fan, that chapter has been characterized by waiting for 53 years. And I think if you've been in New York City politics, there's also been a lot of waiting for a sense of recognition, not just of your own struggle, but also of the city's complicity in that struggle and what the city could do to address that struggle. And so we're hoping to be the answer to that.
I love the fact that you're just like, if I played a small part, okay, just a little self-effacement there.
Collective self-effacement. It's the new term.
So what is the message that you're trying to make about New York City regarding this moment that we're experiencing on the issue of sports, right? Because the World Cup.
Yes.
Mexico ganó. I know that Mexico won.
They did.
But I don't know anything.
2-0.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, the first match of the tournament. I think we want people to understand that they're not alone in this city. People feel alone, whether it's in the struggles of their life or just in a very literal sense as well. And in a city of 8.5 million people, it can feel lonely for many. And what sports offer, beyond the incredible moments where you're embracing someone who you've never met before next to you, just in the pure joy of that moment, is also an understanding of being a part of a collective. And the World Cup is a celebration of this one beautiful game that brings so many together. It offers people a chance to see themselves in a way that they never had before. And it also offers an opportunity to learn about other cultures. You know, for example, Cape Verde just played Spain. This is Cape Verde's first time in the World Cup.
Yay!
They have a population of about 560,000 people. They just got a point off of the European champions. It means the world to New Yorkers of Cabo Verde descent. And this is what happens in each and every game. I don't know if you've been following, but the Algerian team has been based in Kansas, I think. And they've been welcomed with open arms by the people of this city. And for all of the caricatures of who we are in this country, of how we see the world outside of it, the World Cup offers us a chance to know each other as we truly are, to be curious, to be excited, to be joyful. And here in New York City, we have an opportunity to understand that no matter where you're from, you're at home. And for those who are visiting the city for the first time from across the world, we can't wait to have them here.
Yes, but you did make a video where you were being very, very specific about a message to the tourists, right?
Walking is the best way to get around our city. Stopping in the middle of the sidewalk, not the best way. Make sure to look both ways for cars and bikes when crossing the street. Walk in here.
I was just telling them how they should understand the city.
What is your favorite pointer that you made in that video? Come on now, as a New Yorker.
My favorite pointer is take off your backpack in the subway.
Oh, you like that one.
You know, because I think it's not just tourists. It's also a lot of New Yorkers who have forgotten that advice.
I have to say, when I saw that, I was like, okay, I'll remember to do that next time.
And I also think it's... There's sometimes we don't afford people the chance to learn how to be in our city before we judge them for what they're doing. And so I wanted to make sure that we actually gave those who are thinking of coming to the city some helpful advice of what it's like to get around here, and also something that would demystify the enormity of this city. There's a real sense of this city as a place where everyone is in a rush. You can ask no one for anything, and you're on your own. And in fact, New Yorkers, as hurried as we are, we still do have a little room for generosity and sincerity.
And you said, don't stop in the middle of the sidewalk.
Don't stop in the middle of the sidewalk.
Because New Yorkers, we walk fast.
We truly do. I had someone recently ask me if we're going to make sidewalks just for speed walkers. I was like, this is not, I empathize, but it's not a top priority.
So you've said that soccer, fútbol, wouldn't exist if it wasn't. Oh, I love the fact that you're answering me in Spanish.
I have 10
I love
words.
it.
I have 10 words.
Okay, hablaremos más tarde. We'll speak more in Spanish later. But you have said, look, football wouldn't exist if it wasn't for immigrants. And at the same time, we know that this is happening at the heels of the Somali referee being denied entry into the U.S. So when you think of your experience with football, to stay on the World Cup for a second, and then we'll move on, what is it about immigrants and the World Cup and football that kind of stands out for you?
You know when you speak to someone and you know you're speaking to them in their second or third language, it's as if you're speaking to a shadow of them. You're only getting a glimpse of who they are. Football is as if a shared first language. So much can be broken down through a love of the same game. You brought up Mexico, and the first things that came to mind for me were these Mexican players that I grew up watching. Chicharito, Giovanni Dos Santos, Guillermo Ochoa. Azteca is a stadium that I'd love to go visit. This is how I understand the world. When someone tells me where they're from, I go to my favorite players. I go to my favorite, moments and clubs. And what I think is in a moment like this, where we are so often made to feel as if we have to look inward, as if there is nothing out there for anyone to connect with anyone else, football is a way to really join hands. Or in the case of Diego Maradona, use them.
With Steve Hodge, Shelton flaps and Maradona knocks it into the empty net.
But generally, I would say.
Okay. So you, Mr. Mayor, as an immigrant yourself, you can kind of revel in the love of immigrants. And as an immigrant myself, right, we can revel in the love of immigrants.
How old were you when you came?
When I came to Chicago, where my dad was a professor at the University of Chicago, I was about a year old.
Wow. And where were you born?
Mexico City.
Wow. I love Mexico City.
But then I came to New York in '79 to go to Barnard.
Wow.
And basically kind of just stayed. But so your love of immigrants, I mean, it's real. It's not a political tactic for you. And yet, Mr. Mayor, the presidential election was won in this country essentially on the backs of hating immigrants. And can you put those two things together for me at the same time? That here we have this great city celebrating immigrants, and yet we know that a large part of the population voted for a man who ran on hating immigrants specifically.
I think it's easier to be afraid of an idea than an individual. And there are many who have not met those that they apparently fear. And here in New York City, immigrants are not a fantasy or a notion or a fear. We are a part of this city. 8.5 million people call this city home. More than 3 million are immigrants. I'm one of them. I'm one of the first immigrant mayors in generations in our city, but I'm not the first. There have been many before. And I think that what we see is in times of precarity, in times of scarcity, there are those who will tell us that we should blame our struggles on someone else. And what we are looking to do is to build a politics that actually identifies why working people are struggling and doesn't instead offer them their neighbor as the reason for it. And I've found inspiration in this work just from other New Yorkers who have often blazed a trail of doing just that.
You grew up in New York City.
Yes, not far from Barnard.
No, I know where you went to school because that's where I saw you
Yes.
at Bank Street.
Yes.
Like I saw you when you were a little one. 10 years old, I remember you pushing out of the turnstile when I was coming in to pick up the kids. But because you grew up in New York City, you also grew up seeing headlines and stories about a certain person named Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
You were reading the stories about his bankruptcies, about his divorces, about his infidelities. Many felt like Donald Trump was, to be blunt, a racist con man. And yet, you have been able to dominar, as we say in Mexican Spanish. You've been able to dominate the president in a way that is very interesting to witness. And I'm wondering if your understanding of not being afraid of him because you grew up with the guy, how that has played into how you manage this very particular relationship with Donald Trump.
I think that at the core of that relationship is an honesty. And in many ways, it's a very New York trait to be able to work with someone and talk to someone with whom you have many deep disagreements. I think in this city, as you grow up here, as you build a life here, you constantly have to deal with things beyond yourself. And with the president, I'm very open and direct about how I feel about things, whether it be ICE or whether it be federal policy. And I'm also in those meetings looking to find ways to help the people of our city. And what that means is trying to bring that conversation back to the things that could transform life in the world, the nation's most expensive city.
So what do you do, Mr. Mayor, when borders are, Tom Homan recently made threats again that he was going to come into the city at this time. So what is your position on how you respond to ICE and Tom Homan?
I think you will hear threats from Tom Homan, and we have heard many threats from the federal administration. And no matter how many we hear, we make it very clear that our values and our laws are not bargaining chips. We are not embarrassed of our status as a sanctuary city. We are, in fact, proud of it. We are not embarrassed of the fact that New Yorkers of all kinds of immigration statuses live in this city. This is a city that finds a deep sense of pride in what David Dinkins described as the gorgeous mosaic. And we will fight these threats with every single tool that we have. And in fact, one of the decisions that I made coming into office was not only that we continue our status as a sanctuary city, but also that we audit our city agencies to ensure absolute compliance with that status. Because in a moment like this, where I'm going around our city, speaking about the fact that for the first time we're offering free childcare for 2-year-olds, I know that there are families who are reticent to use any city government service out of fear that it could somehow be tied to their immigration status. They are unsure if they too are eligible for this. And we make it clear to them that not only will the city of New York not allow ICE agents to come in to a New York City school without a judicial warrant signed by a judge, but also that we are having a program here for every child in this city who's 2 years old in these neighborhoods, no matter what their immigration status is or the status of their parents.
As you were speaking, Mr. Mayor, I thought about the fact that I know people who are afraid in our city. And ICE has been, even in my own neighborhood of West Harlem, spottings there and here and there. What can you say to them, though?
That I understand that fear, that it is a fear that is rational given what ICE has been doing, and that for them to know that as their mayor, I firmly believe that ICE should be abolished, that we should have an answer to the question of immigration with humanity at the heart of it, and that I will not sit here alongside you and proclaim that the only way to respond to it is an agency that I'm older than. We know that what we see across the city is hardworking people across a variety of immigration statuses who are fearful to leave their homes. I heard of a student who took down the numbers of every single apartment on their floor so that ICE wouldn't know where they lived exactly. I've spoken to young people who've broken down in tears telling me about what their parents have gone through and how fearful they are of even leaving the house. And we will continue to make clear that our city is not going to assist ICE in civil immigration, and to make the argument that it is time for some moral courage when it comes to what the future of this agency looks like, especially as we start to have more conversations about what a vision for our country looks like, especially within the Democratic Party.
So you're clear, ICE should be abolished?
Yes.
No doubt.
None. I think that this is a very modern and rogue interpretation of what immigration enforcement should mean. We are seeing people's lives be ripped apart, and for what? It seems like for the purpose of a narrative more than any actual desire for public safety. And I shared that with the president directly. I said, we have the NYPD in our city. When it comes to public safety, we are focused on this and delivering this. ICE does not assist in that work. In fact, it imperils that work. One of the reasons we have sanctuary city policies is so that every New Yorker, no matter their immigration status, knows that they are safe to interact with law enforcement.
So I think I told you very quickly that my daughter, who also went to Bank Street, became involved in electoral politics because of you, right? She was the one who came to me and said, he's going to win. And I was like, Cuomo. She was like, he's going to win. Why do you believe that this younger generation of Latino and Latina voters believe in what's possible in terms of your politics? What do you think that you're communicating to them specifically?
I think first I would not be here without that generation, and also without the support of Latinos and Latinas across the city. It was one of the major reasons we won the primary. And second, I think people are exhausted by a politics of no, by a politics of limitation. They are exhausted by looking at a national landscape and seeing Republicans whose imagination seems to be limitless, whether it comes to the feasibility of an idea or the constitutionality of it, and yet Democrats seem to be constructing an ever-lowering ceiling of possibility. And you think about a younger generation in this city. I spoke recently to a few young people not too far from here, and one of them looked at me and said, there's nothing worse in the city than being young and broke. There are so many young New Yorkers who've grown up in this city. Their only hope for staying here is to keep living in the same bedroom that they grew up in. They want something more than that. They want to be able to hear their parents' stories about how they took a chance in the city and feel like they could take a chance too. And that's something that we're trying to deliver.
Okay, how's your Spanish? ¿Cómo va el español?
Muy mal.
Muy mal.
Muy
¿Por
mal.
qué?
Lo siento.
¿No tienes tiempo?
Sí, pero I've been bad even when I had time. So it's not, I can't blame the job.
¿Te gusta hablar el español?
Sí,
¿Por qué?
claro que sí.
Why do you like to speak Spanish? Because like you were like ready to go into Spanish real fast.
It's New York City. You can't grow up here and not feel like Spanish is a part of the language of the city.
No siempre me saldrá bien el español, pero nunca dejaré de intentarlo.
I listen to a lot of Spanish language music. I have no idea what's being said, but it feels like home. You know, I can say very well, you know, lo siento, yo no hablo español, and it sounds as if I speak Spanish, but that's just because of how we grew up in this city.
Estoy haciendo lo mejor para hablar en español.
So, Mr. Mayor, I left the most difficult question to the end.
Okay.
It's about divisions in New York City
Okay.
and how you're playing a part in them. Why have you decided to jump into the food wars? I just need to know.
Tell me more.
So,
What am I guilty of?
So you've made statements about the best pizza, Coronet.
I have.
I won't disagree.
Nostalgia.
Okay, bagels also. But Mr. Mayor, as a Mexican, I need to know.
What have I done?
I need to understand the science upon which you are making the decision about what makes the best taco in New York City.
Oh my God.
Because them's fighting words,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, there are many Mexicans who I've asked, right? Is there a best taco in New York City? And they're like,
Have you tried Taqueria Ramirez?
no.
Okay.
Okay. But I have tried taqueria, tacos número uno.
Yeah, los tacos number one. They're good.
They're very good.
Yeah.
But I need to know your science. Upon what are you basing the decision on? I need to understand.
I think for me, a lot of it comes down to the quality of the meat.
Okay,
in
the
the taco.
meat, the quality of the meat.
I am a real sucker for beef tacos, steak tacos,
Okay.
right? I also think I love radishes.
Ooh.
So I overload my plate,
Okay.
you know?
Okay.
I think, and then I love a hole in the wall experience.
Okay.
So like Taqueria Ramirez it's like this size.
Okay.
Right here. People are lined up through the seat. Los Tacos number one, I love that it feels like,
Yes.
in the best way, a factory.
Yes.
Where you're there, you know, con todo, this, that, and then people are eating standing up.
Yes.
It feels like the city.
We have a name for that.
What
it's
is that?
called tacos parados,
Tacos parados.
which means standing tacos.
Amazing.
Okay.
Tacos parados.
Yes. I want credit for that.
Yes, done.
You're going to be like Maria Hinojosa taught me the term.
She taught me parados.
Tacos parados.
Sí.
And you know why? Because in the best tacos, you eat them like this, standing up, and then the juice from the meat comes down the elbows into the floor.
Not bad.
Okay? I'm
Okay.
giving you some real
Tacos parados.
Mexico City cred. Okay, you did really well there.
Thank you very much.
Are you going to jump in on the bagels, though? Which is your favorite bagel shop?
I used to be Absolute Bagels, but they're gone. But there's a
Okay,
new one.
I was there
I haven't been. Good?
for the first time last week,
Yeah.
and I had a sesame bagel with their chicken salad
What?
to die for. But
Chicken
you know,
salad?
their chicken salad in
On a bagel?
Absolute. Oh, look at you. Oh, he's dissing me.
I'm just a little bit taken aback. People do that? I thought it was...
Absolute Bagels has the best chicken salad of all New York City.
I don't think I've ever had a chicken salad.
I wasn't going to ask you your bagel order, but I think I have to now.
Okay, my bagel order...
That obviously you got from Absolute.
Yes, my Absolute Bagel order. Poppy seed bagel,
Okay.
scallion cream cheese,
Yes.
some pulp Tropicana.
Oh, that's easy.
Just there, you open it up. It's perfect.
Memories,
Dreams,
right?
just-
Memories. One or two words to describe how you're feeling right now.
Ecstatic.
Ooh, I love that. Okay. Sleep deprived?
Absolutely.
A little.
Yes.
Who cares, right? Who cares?
Soon I will.
Who is going to win the World Cup?
I have said that it would be Morocco.
Ooh. Okay, you're going to stand by that. It's Pride Month. If you could name somebody to be the Grand Marshal, dead or alive, for Pride, Grand Marshal.
Dead or alive? You know what? I have a deep love for my friend Cal Penn,
Okay.
and I think that he would be a great marshal.
That sounds like a good one. Okay. So, Mr. Mayor, you have been rolling deep with Los Boricuas. Puerto Rican
Yes.
Day Parade. We saw you. Jose
Yo
Alvarado.
soy boricua,
Yeah.
pa' que tú lo sepas.
Okay, I love that. You actually said that Puerto Rico has been denied independence for far too long, your words. Do you believe that Puerto Rico should be independent?
I believe that Puerto Ricans should make that choice. I believe that they have the right to self-determination and that we should let them make their decision.
Cool. Do you want to see AOC run for president, staying on the Puerto Rican line?
Yes, I do.
Ooh, okay. What rapper, dead or alive, would you like to perform with?
Perform with?
Yes.
I feel like I would love to do the ad-libs for Ja Rule while he was performing New York.
Okay,
Yeah.
we love that. Salsa or reggaeton?
Daddy Yankee was just one of the marshals of the Puerto Rican Day Parade, so I
Yes.
think I have to say reggaeton.
Favorite New York saying? Forget about it. Bacon, egg, and cheese. You good? What's good? Dead ass. Or your own.
Ooh, I think when I was a kid, it was dead ass for me. I think now as the mayor, I'll say you good.
Mayor, thank you so much for taking time to speak.
This was such a pleasure.
Un placer.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Un placer.
Un placer.
Sí,
Tacos parados?
también.